Hi, this is Charles Gaudet here, CEO of Predictable Profits and author of the Predictable Profits Playbook. And today I want to show you how to close more B2B deals with the 3M cold email strategy and take you into a live case study. Plus, I'll show you how to write emails that actually get cold prospects to write you back with messages like this. Of course, my attorney wants me to remind you that my results aren't typical and nothing I say should be construed as a guarantee that you'll actually achieve the same results. So we're on the same page as it stands right now. In the past 11 weeks, since we've refined this system that I'm going to show you, this campaign is achieving an 81% open rate, an overall reply rate of 29%, and a 35.37% reply rate based on those who actually open the email and see the message. So we've reached exactly 1,995 people. Of those, 1,604 people actually opened our emails, and 573 people have responded, which now makes it even easier to stack our salesperson with appointments booked on his calendar every single day. So grab your pen and your notebook, and I'm going to show you how, step by step, how we're doing this right now. So first, understand that the way most people send out emails is to purchase leads using services like ZoomInfo, Data.com, Hoovers, and you name it. Then they take these leads and they mass upload them into a CRM like MailChimp or whatnot, write one email, and then spam the hell out of their list. Well, the problem with this is multiple fold. First, when you're downloading a list from a data aggregation company, now aside from the fact that it's often annoying because the data is usually incorrect, outdated, and wrongfully categorized, they only provide demographic data. And just because someone meets a certain demographic, it doesn't mean that they fit the mold of your ideal buyer. It's kind of like thinking, all fish eat worms. But the truth of the matter is that you're not going to catch a whale with a worm. So you want to reach more targeted prospects who will actually want what you're offering. And I'm going to show you how to find these folks in a minute. So problem number 2. Aside from the fact that uploading a list of people into a CRM is against the terms of service for most of these email broadcast companies, and it can actually get you banned, the open rates when you're sending it through an email broadcast system are low. I've seen them as low as 7.38%, and the few lucky folks might actually make it into the double digits, but that still means that 90% or so of these people you're not actually reaching. And problem number 3, look, let's face it, you're not fooling anyone. Most people can recognize a cold email from a mile away, and that's why so many people mark it as spam, and your reply rates stink, and you're at a high risk for getting your domain blacklisted. And let me tell you, you don't want this to happen to your business. It can instantly cripple you and bring you down to your knees. So here's what the 3M cold email strategy actually looks like. Step number 1, you create a list of your most targeted prospects that goes way beyond what the data aggregation services offer. Step 2, you upload them into an email provider made specifically for outbound sales that actually, in many cases, gets your emails delivered directly to your prospect's inbox and bypasses the dreaded promo box entirely. Step number 3, you create a series of 5 email messages with only one goal, and that's to get a reply. Step 4, you send these emails automatically on your behalf with consistent and persistent follow-up to get replies. And finally, step 5, you return the replies, schedule a sales call, and you close the deal. It's that simple. So let's get into the process in a little bit more detail so you can see how to do it yourself. When it comes to developing a lead list, the biggest problem with the data aggregation services is that they only provide you with demographic information. You can select from location, company size, industry, employee count, and job title. But what does this information tell you about your prospect's propensity to buy what you have to offer? That's sort of like saying, well, as long as the person is a woman, lives locally to me, is single, and within 5 years of age to myself, then she's a candidate to be the next Mrs. Gaudet. Now, look, I'm happily married and not on the market, so don't get the wrong idea. I'm just giving you an example. There's nothing about a demographic that tells you if the person is an ideal candidate. Now, if we just keep running along with this example, I'd get closer to my ideal mate if I added additional search criteria like she must be physically active, enjoys being outside, wants a family, outgoing, enjoys traveling, and she likes crazy entrepreneurial type guys who obsess about business. And now we're onto something, right? And you could do the same thing with your lead strategy. And this is the most complicated part of the process, but once you identify exactly what you want and document it into a process, You can then hand it off to an intern, an employee, or freelancer. Now, in my business, we have 2 virtual assistants and a freelancer out in the Philippines that actually collect thousands of high quality leads for us every week. So, you ready for this? The first M in the cold email strategy, and arguably the most important, is market. To get to the right market, we actually use LinkedIn. Now, we've spent thousands of dollars testing various software programs, and hands down, LinkedIn is the best search tool available anywhere. Why? Because people keep their profile up to date. It's the most accurate platform that you can search, where you can get not only your demographic information, just as you can from the data aggregation services, you can also match your demographic with a psychographic. Nobody else can do this as well as LinkedIn. Matching your demographic with your psychographic brings you closer to your ideal client profile. But the problem with LinkedIn, and the reason why most people don't use it, is because they don't know how to scrape the data. And well, we've got a trick for that too. In fact, I'm going to have my main man, Zach Burks, who, by the way, is also a successful entrepreneur who recently exited his own 7-figure company. I'll have him walk you through exactly how he does it for his company right now.
Hey everyone, it's Zach. As Charlie mentioned, I'm going to show you a quick little process that we're using to find leads on LinkedIn, both by their demographic and psychographic qualities, and then how we're able to kind of transition that into a Google Sheet to find their email with a tool called Hunter.io or Email Hunter. So as you can see, I already have the search page up. So I've taken the liberty of doing a few things for you ahead of time. So as a business coaching firm, we typically work with CEOs and business owners. We also tend to work with company sizes 1 to 10 employees and those that are in the United States. Now, you can add different things such as relationships, second or third connection, the various industries that you might work in. We even have .com because we tend to work with online businesses. Now, that's like the demographic. I think everyone kind of has a firm grasp of who they're working with there. The thing that we're also doing that lends a little more of the psychographic type of feel to it and enables us to target a little more closely is that we're now using groups. And so on this group, I just chose eMarketing Association because it's one of the bigger marketing groups online. And typically, if we're working with a business owner and they're in this type of group, that means they're open to new ideas, they're open to coaching, and they're looking for ways to grow their business, which is what we do, right? So that would be ideal. Now, my previous business, we had a medical device. So if I were looking to target pharmaceutical type executives, I might go find a group that has a large group of pharmaceutical executives. So then I could target them based on, hey, they're in this group. This is where they're all kind of congregating. And, maybe they're more open to that type of conversation because they're actively participating in this. Or you might go a little bit of a roundabout way, is that I might target Tony Robbins followers. Tony Robbins followers tend to be more coachable. They're open to that type of coaching method, and thus they might fit our psychographic a little bit better, right? So I hit search, right? We're going to do that. We're going to get some results, and then we're going to come here. So I've already done the search for you, and we're going to use a tool called Duck Soup. And Duck Soup is a fantastic tool that I can't recommend enough for you. It's either free or it's going to be $15, and even the $15 is super affordable, and it's going to allow you to do a lot, right? So it's already kind of going. You can see what's going on here. I'll go ahead and hit stop robot. What happens is once you already have this search page up, we have all our results, you're going to hit visit profiles. That's going to do a couple things. First, it's going to visit all those profiles, right? Go to the first one, view it, gather all the information, exit, go to the next one, and it's going through the entire list, and you can do up to 400 a day. Secondly, by getting more profile views, you're going to be ranking higher in LinkedIn search, kind of like SEO for LinkedIn. That's a plus. Lastly, what we're doing is that we're gathering that information from these profiles, and we're going to download the data, right? So then I'm going to hit download data, which I've already done, and I've opened it to a Google spreadsheet, and you're going to get something like this. Now, it's going to be kind of messy, and you don't need all this stuff. You can come in here and delete this, whatever. Really, what you want to get to and why you want to trim it down is that you really only need the first name, last name, company, and let's scroll over a little bit, company website, right? That's all you're looking for. And the reason being is that once you have that kind of all cleaned up and you can find and make sure that it's all correct, you should have something like this. Okay, so first name, last name, company website, and company. And why that's important is that you're going to download this spreadsheet or this sheet as a CSV, and you're going to take it to Hunter.io. So I've already opened it up. I have a starter plan. It's about 1,000 contacts per month. It's not necessary. You can even do one of their free plans. But what you'll do is you'll select a file, you'll load that CSV that we just talked about, and you're going to search for all the emails of these people. Because when you grab that information, from LinkedIn. It doesn't come with their email. It has everything else but the contact information. So that's important for this process. So you're going to grab all that, come here, do this, and you're going to get a result of emails. Typically, I mean, it could range about how many emails that you get back, but this is what it'll look like. Okay. And then, so as you can see, some of them are not there. So you can delete the ones that don't have the emails. Don't waste your time. Don't spend too much time on that. Just move quickly and move on to the next one. And then from there, you could take all the emails that are accurate or the ones that you got back, and you're going to put them into your automated email campaigns or what have you. We like to check them first in Infusionsoft and then go to Persist IQ. But anyway, so that's the quick process on how to find the leads on LinkedIn. Use the demographic and the psychographic. The groups are really important. And also how to use DuckSoup to visit all those profiles and ultimately get their email or get all their information into a spreadsheet. Then use that spreadsheet in Hunter.io, and thus you have all these emails and you can put that into your campaign and really get after it. And we've been having tremendous success with this. All right, well, I hope that helps. Thank you. Bye.
So now you have a targeted list of the most likely qualified prospects. So then what are you going to do with them now? Well, that brings us to the next M in the 3M cold email system, method. Look, we already talked about all the ways broadcast email systems are terrible and, quite frankly, a stupid waste of resources for cold emailing. So before we go much further, I want to show you the numbers before I get into the method we use so you can see the dramatic impact this can have on your business. One of our Academy members reached out in a private Slack group that we have and told me he was sending out 40,000 emails a week using a broadcast system. His open rate was around 7%, which means about 2,800 people actually opened his email. And he receives a 2% reply rate. So he had to burn through 40,000 emails to get 56 emails a week. Look, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see how quickly you're going to burn through leads if you're turning through them at 40,000 a week. Never mind all the other issues you have with spam and so forth. So now let's pick on Chris. She's one of our awesome team members, and let's look at her results. Here's a screenshot that I took from her results earlier this morning. Now, in the last 11 weeks, Chris has contacted 2,265 people. Of those, only reached 1,995. Now, because some of the emails bounced and were bad and so forth. But look, 81% of these people opened her email, and that number will go up because she just sent out a batch that's just hitting people's inboxes right now as we speak. And what you see here is a 29% reply rate. But if you base a reply rate based on the actual number of people who opened the email and saw the message, that then brings you to a reply rate of 35.25%. It's pretty cool, right? So think about it. Even if Chris reached out to 1,000 new contacts in a week, if 35% of these people reply to her, that's 350 emails, way more than just one person can handle. In fact, because of such a high reply rate, Chris hits her goal reaching just 300 new prospects a week. Imagine that. She gets a better response using this method, sending 300 emails, than my student got sending 40,000 emails. Because A, she's targeting the right market, and B, she's using the right method, and C, well, we're going to get to that soon. And here's a quick screenshot from one of our other Academy members who is just getting his feet wet with the system. So he's experiencing a 75% open rate with 32% of his prospects replying. And if you take his reply rate based on the number of opens, so the number of people that actually see his message, he's at 42%, which is even better than what we're doing internally right now. Pretty cool, right? And the guy who was sending 40,000 emails? Well, we just actually talked recently, and now he's using this strategy and loving it as much as we expected. So then let's jump into the second M again, which is method. Method represents the method you're going to send your emails from. Now, in our company, we use Persist IQ. Many of our Academy members also use Outreach.io with great success. And these tools allow you to fully customize your emails in a way that CRMs can't. The tool provides for automation and semi-automation, and they have a way higher deliverability. So here's how it works. Step 1, you upload your qualified contacts into your method. Step 2, the method automatically processes and mails them out. And step 3, if they don't open, a follow-up email is automatically scheduled and sent. And if they do reply, they're automatically removed. Now, I want you to test this for yourself, but in my company, we find that the best results happen when we send 5 follow-up emails sent automatically, whether we're working or not, bringing us qualified leads or qualified replies, rather, every single day. We send out 1 email. If they don't reply, they get another email automatically in 3 days. If they don't reply, they get another one in 2 days, then another in 3 days, then another in 2 days. By email 4, if they don't reply, then, or I should say by email 5, if they don't reply, we just stop sending them emails. And then we have another strategy for reaching the folks that don't respond, especially now that we've already identified them as ideal prospects. But that strategy is a little bit more advanced, so we're just going to have to save that for another day. But how are we achieving such a high reply rate? Well, welcome to the third M in the 3M cold email strategy, which is message. The problem with most cold emails is that when people receive your email, they know it's cold. For example, here's an email that I received just a couple days ago. The biggest telltale sign that it's cold, in addition to being completely irrelevant to me, is that it's too generic. See, the litmus test that we use before we send any one of our emails is that we ask ourselves a question: is this email unique enough that it would not apply to anyone else on this list? If the answer is no, well, then it's not going to work for us, and we're going to get back to the drawing board. If the answer is yes, it means that the email is unique to the prospect, and it'll work, and it'll deliver a great response. So here's how we do it. I'm going to show you my email, and you're going to have to make the tweaks for your company. So our subject line, and we've tested many of them, is simply their company name. And this is automatically inserted within PersistIQ, whatever method you use. And I'm going to also share with you the body of our first email, and I just got to say this. Please do not copy this word for word and put it in your own use. There are a lot of copycats out there and posers out there that steal our work and pass it off as their own. So, take these ideas and just make them your own. So, step number 1, we address the prospect by their first name. Again, automatically inserted by the software. Now, step number 2, I just came across company name. This is automatically inserted by the software and provides a little customization, enough to pique their interest and get them to keep reading. And it's followed by, while working on a new sales and marketing system for a client. Now here we're injecting social proof, letting them know that we're working with others, which is true. And this sentence now tells them a little bit more about what we do, which is sales and marketing strategy. Then we move over to step number 3, and here's where the magic lies. Chris will go to the website and pull out an important and unique piece of information from their website and then insert it here where it says personalized snippet. So she says, say, it looks like you're trying to sell trampolines to online gyms across the U.S. Now, I'm just making this up here, but the point is that the prospect now knows that we've been to their website, so it gets them to read the next sentence. The more unique and the more specific you can add to the email, the better. For example, look how specific Drew was in his cold email to me. Charles, enjoyed reading how you've been an entrepreneur from the old age of 4. This early start clearly paid dividends for you with the success of your first multi-million-dollar business at 24. Crazy to think that's less than a year away from me. See, the rest of his email was templated, and it probably took him 90 seconds to get this from the About Us page on my website, and immediately caught my attention. Look, most people underestimate the amount of strategic thinking it takes to move the needle in your business. Just because your competition all does it one way doesn't mean that it's the right way. It's little things like this that takes just a little bit more time that drive home much bigger results. So let's go over to step number 4. We're telling them why we're reaching out, because their company shares a lot of similarities. Plus we have more social proof right there. And then step number 5, now we're dangling a carrot in front of them, giving them a proof point and piquing their interest more by telling them we generated $516,330 in new income for a client in 11 days. And yes, in case you're wondering, that is a true story. It's not my best story by any means. There are several times when we brought in more money than that. However, and this is why we test emails, when we told some people of some of my other results, like when I brought in 1.7 million in 10 days. I mean, you would think that would be awesome, but the results weren't as good. So that's why we use this example. Again, it's a true story, and I've done it many times, but let's move on to step number 6 here, which is a really cool, no hype, very conversational close that simply asks a prospect, "You up for discussing a few ideas?" Now, truthfully, I don't know why anyone would pass on speaking with us, because in almost every case, when we speak to someone who's coachable, even if we don't sell them, they always walk away with new ideas to grow their business that they didn't think about before. So that's the first email right there. And then 4 more emails that are short, more generic, and to the point. But here's the key. Each email that we send, it's automatically inserted below the original email. So it looks like you're actually forwarding the email so that A, the prospect can read your original email and see the personalization, and B, how persistent you are, which in many cases, they kind of feel bad that they haven't responded, so they reply to you. And this is how you get the best results with cold email, bringing you more conversations and helping you close more deals. And that, my friends, is the 3M cold email strategy. And perhaps the coolest thing about this strategy is that it's just another way to take what you're already doing and increase your results without spending any more money than you're already spending. Now, nearly every company has opportunities like this. And whether it's in cold email, the sales process, your back-end marketing, your lead gen, whatever it might be, every company has opportunities like this that are overlooked. And most of the time, it's just a matter of making just a few simple tweaks to improve what you're doing for immediate and a substantial result. In fact, look, if you own a business and you're ready to take it to the next level and you want to see just how many more different hidden opportunities exist in your business, text the word strategy to 603-797-9244. Not only will you get another really cool strategy that I really think you're going to love, I'll send you a text message back and we'll schedule a free 35-minute strategy session with one of our coaches. And I'll let you know these strategy sessions are not a long, drawn-out sales pitch. We actually used to charge for these, but then we decided that we'd set some time aside each week to talk with entrepreneurs and help them see areas in which there are more opportunities in their business, because ultimately, well, that's what we love to do. And if you find some real value during our call and you want to learn more about what we do, well, then that's up to you, and we'll be happy to tell you more. So again, that's a 3M cold email strategy, just one of the many strategies for growing your business. Text the word strategy to 603-797-9244 if you'd like. Thank you for watching. This is Charles Gaudet.